What's up, everyone? I'm Tor the Max Extreme.
And I'm Ghost Hunter Dave.
And this is IMPERIUS REX.
Yeah.
Today's show, we will be going over Gerard Way's Umbrella Academy.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Mine too. Stay tuned to figure out what we actually think right now.
We like it, obviously.
Or do we?
We do.
We do. Theme song.
Yeah.
So Gerard Way's Umbrella Academy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What about it? You like it?
Oh, I liked it.
Me too.
The beginning was a tease to keep him on the hook.
So I shouldn't have given up.
But yeah.
I feel so guilty toying with people's emotions. They come here to hear an honest response, and we're fucking with them.
I did it.
Gerard Way would be just beside himself. As would Gabriel Ba.
Superstar artist.
Yeah.
Gabriel Ba. Gerard Way's got his new Young Animals imprint coming up at DC, which also sounds quite awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing back a bunch of 90s properties like Doom Patrol.
Boom Patrol.
The Boom Patrol? Amazing. But yeah, and so that got us talking about his past works like Umbrella Academy, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll read it again.
Reread? Yeah.
First page in, immediately sold. I was like, amazing. It's just this picture of this huge pro wrestler elbow dropping this squid.
Space squid.
Yeah, and it was just like, on this date, this happened, but it has nothing to do with the story. And I'm like, yeah, I'm on. I love this already.
Oh, yeah. It's, I think irreverent is the term that you would use for something like that. Where it's just delightful, but so out of nowhere and really has no bearing on anything other than it's just amazingly random.
Yeah, but in the best way.
Yeah.
Even at the end of, like, I think it only does it in the first trade, but the end of every chapter, it's got just irreverent facts that some has to do with, like, the death toll at amusement parks.
Yes.
Which has nothing to do with the story, it's just additional supplemental material.
And there's even one that gives a bunch of facts and says, like, none of these have anything to do with the story.
And I love that.
Yeah.
And the book only went 2 trades.
There's a third coming, though.
There's a third coming out.
Hotel Oblivion, I think is the name. And from what I've gathered, I think it's pretty close to being done. Might be being lettered or something right now, but
that'd be nice.
Same team throughout the whole thing. Yeah, want more of that. God, what a good partnership right now with the creators.
Yeah, and when I first heard this was coming out, I was completely hesitant, as maybe you are if you've never read it yourself. Gerard Way, lead singer of My Chemical Romance, writing a comic book?
Yep.
Get out of here.
Exactly. You think, what's it? Come on, they're doing him a favor. They just want to sell some books with his name.
Turns out, like, he was way into comics and art even before this music career took off. And if he never did this whole music career thing, this is what he'd be doing in its stead. And it's amazing.
If that whole really popular band thing doesn't pan out for you, you can always come in and write some comics. But yeah, he was a lifelong comic book fan. So like you said, he was always kind of planning on writing comics. Yeah. And then the band got in the way, so to speak. But the band's great too. I'm a big Chemical Romance fan.
There you go.
There you go. It's good music. You should give them a listen. I'm going to check up on that to make sure you do. Give them a listen.
Great.
They're very enjoyable.
Because I say I do a lot of things. But
I'll play some for you now.
Great. But, yeah, I would recommend Umbrella Academy to anyone. If you've never read it, definitely. If you're not a comic reader, I think you would enjoy this too. It's because it's fun.
Absolutely.
And it still tells, like, a serious story of this somewhat of adopted family and their dysfunctionality, if that's a word.
It can be.
Coining it.
It is
right
now.
Here.
Yep.
But it's...
Can I give it a quick elevator pitch?
Yes.
I've said before, I normally don't like it when you're gonna sell someone on something and you're like, it's this meets this. 2 great things that shouldn't work together, but they do.
Right.
But this is very much like a Wes Anderson movie, like Royal Tenenbaums meets the X-Men.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same quirky humor. Same splashy superheroics.
Yep.
And it just fits.
Yeah.
Even if you're not like a fan of Wes Anderson movies, I think the humor is fine. Like that's just the closest thing that comes to mind. Real quick synopsis. What's it about?
It's this group of children that were all born on the exact same day, exact same second, and they're all
under mysterious circumstances.
Right.
Like
7 of them are adopted by this guy named Hargreaves.
Mm-hmm.
And you find out that he isn't all what it seems he is. Because you find out, like, 3rd panel in, he's an alien. Which makes no difference to the story
and
whatsoever.
It's never addressed again. His face is just a mask that he wears. And then we never come back to that.
You find out he's kind of like a super genius who invented a few things that they use here. But it's never, like, made a huge deal.
When the papers ask him why did he adopt all these children, what does he say?
To save the world.
To save the world.
But it follows the children, which is they're all named by numbers.
There's 7 in total.
Yep. And they end up giving themselves like superhero names, monikers, as they grow up and are older in life.
Yeah. So there's Space Boy, Seance, Kraken, the Rumor,
the Horror.
The Horror, my favorite.
Yeah.
Number 5 is just number 5.
It's just number 5.
And the violinist, what is she? Vanya, I think.
Vanya, yeah.
Is that everybody?
I think so. I wasn't counting.
That could be 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're great. Great character designs. They look like they could have been pre-established comic characters for decades.
Right.
And you get windows into their past. You don't just get their entire life story. He doesn't fill in all these gaps.
No.
He just gives you little glimpses.
Yep.
And there's lots of unanswered questions, but you really get a feel for these characters. They feel like they've been, like you've known them and read about them for more than like 3 or 4 issues.
Yeah, yeah.
By the time you're that far in.
Yeah. Bravo to the writing on that.
Yeah, they've created like this entire universe, and it's a weird universe where there's like chimps walking around
and
as
that's
like
normal.
butlers and detectives and stuff, and nobody bats an eye at it. It's just the world that they live in.
Yeah.
Robotic people, just bizarre, fun, craziness.
Yeah. It's just what it is. And what you were saying before, like, it does jump around in time. Going back to one of the characters, the Horror, you see, as in flashbacks...
You see him as a child.
You see him as a child, and they all kind of, like, dress the same as, like, a school uniform and going out and fighting crime. And then you find out when they go to, what I would assume is the present... and they're all older, the Horror's dead. And you never see it.
You don't know how it happened.
No.
It's just one of those things, like, maybe he'll get to it, and
maybe he
won't. Doesn't matter. Like, it's fine without it. It's kind of fun to speculate, how'd he die?
I know. It's even more... I don't even know if I really want to see it. No. I would like to see him maybe on, like, an adventure, but never really see it.
No, I'm the same way. Like, I'll see him as a kid, but I like him dead more than alive. I think he's more interesting, because you're just always wondering, like, man, I wonder what happened.
This guy?
I kind of want more, but like I don't want to ruin the mystique. So no, really good. Let's talk about the art a little bit.
Okay.
Very pared down, stylistic.
Very stylized.
Splashy color.
Cartoony.
It is. It's like cartoon physics throughout this. And this would look amazing as a cartoon. Like, if they were to ever adapt this, don't even try to do a live action, because there's no point. Like, just animate it. It is perfect for animation. Like, the character designs, the style, everything is beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of Hellboy.
Yeah.
In story-wise, too, how it's just throws it out there and it's like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, you're either on board or you're not. But, like, we're not explaining things. We're just going forward.
Right.
And the character designs are they're simple, but they're so well done.
Yeah.
You know? Everything about this feels and looks so effortless.
Right.
Like, they just did it. Like, real quick. They didn't sit there and and like pine over it. It was just like ready to be told.
Right, yeah.
And like, holy cow. I mean as a compliment, not like effortlessly like they just phoned it in.
Yeah.
Like, this story has been waiting to be told.
It's so, the story is so crisp. You don't find like really any plot holes in it at all.
And there's no wasted moments.
Right.
They just fucking just blow through this stuff.
Yeah.
And you're just wanting more and more and more, and it's such a fast read. Do you have a favorite character of the group?
I really like Space Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the Kraken. Yeah. He's like the Snake Plissken, eye patch.
Right.
And he's got like, he's a aquatic type of character, kind of.
He can hold his breath for a super long
that makes
time.
Sense with the name.
Alright, sure.
He's good with knives.
Yep.
Weapon of choice.
There you go.
He's a badass.
Space Boy. Just impressive looking. Giant gorilla.
Spaceman with a gorilla body.
There you go.
Brilliant. How has this not been a comic book character before this?
I don't know, man.
That's how all these feel. Like, it's taken this long to create this group of people that seems like such a natural thing.
Yeah. But yeah, the what's available right now is 2 trades. The first one is called The Apocalypse Suite, which deals with number 7. Vanya is her adopted name, and she becomes the title character on the front, called the White Violin. And you get to see that story play out, which is really interesting.
I love the trade covers, how they always have the heads cut off.
Yeah, I like that too.
I hope that theme continues.
I don't even think I ever noticed that before, but yeah, that's really cool.
I love it.
Second trade, entitled Dallas. It's a time travel story, really interesting. Features prominently on number 5.
Yep.
And that one's very intricate too. It's like a time travel-y kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's just,
it is really fun.
The first one is a lot of character development and kind of setting up the universe. And then this one, it's just like, they assume you know these people by now, and they just go with this just balls to the wall time travel story. Yeah. And it is amazing. We're not going to spoil this, but the payoff to this book, to Dallas, is amazing. It's one really of the best single, like, splash images I think I've ever read in the comic.
And reading through it this last time, I totally forgot that was the ending, and I'm like, oh my god, that was amazing.
And then everything building up to that, you're like, God, that was so well plotted. Like, I didn't even realize that's where this was going.
So good.
It is amazing.
Can't praise it enough.
Yep. Absolutely check it out. And then one last, do you have anything more on Umbrella?
No, I know where you're going with this, so I'm gonna...
Where am I going? Enlighten me.
Is there anything else of this nature that you would like to recommend?
Well, Troy, I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
There is one more thing. Gerard Way also wrote another book called The True Lives of the Fabulous Killjoys. He wrote it with Shaun Simon, and Becky Cloonan did the art duties. Mm-hmm. And the interesting thing about this, Umbrella Academy, you could make an argument, is like the style and tone of it is kind of similar to their Black Parade album for My Chemical Romance. This one is like, it goes right along with the album they did after that, Danger Days, where they kind of reinvent themselves. They kind of toss away the emo stuff and go into this just full-on like glam rock phase. Cool. And this book like goes hand in hand with that. It kind of takes that album as a jumping on point, and there's even a couple videos that they did where they play the Killjoys, the band themselves. Yeah. They take on these personalities of these fictional characters. Grant Morrison makes an appearance as like their nemesis, and it's this dystopian future where they're on the run from this big evil corporation government. So that you think of that album and those videos as the prelude, and then the comic picks up right after that, where the Killjoys are all dead, and there's a couple other kids that want to kind of pick up the pieces and carry on in their stead. And all of the lyrics, the characters in the songs of that album appear in this. Wow, that's pretty cool. It's like one big like multimedia story. Cool. Which it's a good book, but when you think of everything that works together to make it this big piece of just crazy multimedia entertainment, holy shit, like that's impressive. Man alive. It's a lot of moving pieces. Yeah. So yeah, I would recommend this too. It's a lot of fun. You should read that one sometime. I will. All right. Just like you're going to listen to their music? Yep. All right, great. So I'm excited for what he's going to bring with Young Animals. I'm really looking forward to what he's doing. If this is just as good as what he's already written, whew, good stuff. Yep. On it. I'll read everything he does now. Well, there you go. We gave you everything you want to know but didn't know you want to know about Gerard Way's works, featuring the Umbrella Academy. And the Killjoys. There you go. There you go. So join us next week when we have more comic book news shoved down your gullet through YouTube. I'm Troy the Max Extreme. And I'm Ghost Hunter Day. And we'll see you a new comic book day. That's Wednesday for you fucking...